Welcome to Fast Paced Facts. Today I'm going to be going over facts about 5 different animals that you probably won't believe. Starting off with number 1, the leech. It's important to know that after researching this topic, I'm disturbed to tell you that there are way more leeches than just the ones you saw at the lake as a kid. I also hope you are mentally prepared to know that there's a species of leech out there on the same rock as us that can grow up to 16 inches long, known as the giant Amazon leech. Not only that, but it can also use a roughly 4-inch straw-like proboscis to suck blood from its prey. And now that you're warmed up to leeches, I should also inform you that they have a lot more organs than most people think. All species of leech have segmented body parts that are under the control of 32 separate brains. And while that is interesting enough, it turns out that leeches also have 10 stomachs and a whopping 18 testicles. Let me repeat that. Leeches have 18 testicles each. Now, moving on to animal 2, we have the snail. Snails are a lot more interesting than you think. You probably see them as tiny, slow slime machines that fear salt. You wouldn't be wrong for looking at them that way. Should know how weird they are first, though. Snails have thousands of microscopic teeth called radula. The amount of radula that a snail has can vary from 12,000 to 25,000. So they aren't traditionally teeth, but rather more like sandpaper. A snail can be said to have up to 25,000 teeth. While that is weird enough alone, the fact that snails don't have jaws makes it even weirder. One last fact before moving on. A lot of cosmetic industries use serums derived from garden snails. The next time you have your skin care softener, you should be aware that it may have been made with a garden snail's mucus. For animal 3, we have ferrets, specifically the female ones, as they got the short end of the stick with this fact. Female ferrets produce a high amount of estrogen when they go into heat. This hormone will be produced in massive quantities until the female ferret has mated. This doesn't seem so bad until you realize that high amounts of estrogen for a prolonged period of time will cause aplastic anemia, which basically means their bone marrow will no longer produce enough red blood cells for it to survive. To sum it up, once a female ferret goes into heat, she will die if she does not mate in time. Next up is animal number 4, the dolphin. Now, I know we all have our opinions on dolphins. Those of us who don't know their dark side think they're cute, playful, and innocent animals. While I really wish that were true, I'm mainly interested in the way their brain works for this fact. When a human sleeps, our body will continue breathing automatically. For a dolphin, this isn't how it goes. Dolphins' brains are split up into 2 parts, and when they sleep, they must be somewhat conscious to keep breathing. Hence, dolphins can utilize the power of unihemispheric sleep, which means one half of the brain will sleep while the other stays awake to monitor breathing and keep an eye out for threats. While it's really cool that dolphins can always stay awake, it's important to note that because they are mammals, they still have to breathe air like us humans, which means that even though they have the ability to never fully sleep, they do have to stay near the water's surface to get air. On top of that, they'll still get fatigued, so while they stay near the top of the water, they'll generally sit there motionless to rest or swim very slowly. As for what I said earlier, you'll have to do your own research to determine your stance on the innocence of dolphins, as that is a topic I could easily get age restricted for covering due to the nature of their aquatic war crimes, if you will. Moving on to the last animal on the list, we have the cockroach. And while this is technically an insect, I found it fascinating, so I had to include it. Cockroaches have a very unique and interesting biological design. Cockroaches have 2 brains, and while one is stored in the head, like most creatures, the other more primitive one is not, meaning that if a cockroach is decapitated per se, they can still live on until they die of thirst. You may be thinking they'd run out of air first, but they don't breathe out their heads, rather they have small holes through their body segments that allow them to breathe. Speaking of breathing, they can hold their breath for 40 minutes, so don't think your cockroach problems leave when you flush them down the toilet. There's a high chance they survive that. Cockroaches are also rather fast. They can run at 3 miles per hour if they so wish, which is great for them as it means they can spread germs throughout human houses much faster. While that is horrifying enough, baby cockroaches that are only 1 day old can run almost as fast as its parents, so If your house has a cockroach infestation, you better be prepared to sleep elsewhere for a few days while a pesticide company clears them out. Now, with those 5 animal secrets exposed, go to the comments and tell me some animal facts that you think are interesting, and I might use them for the next animal video. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe, it helps me out a lot. Thanks for watching.